Coronation Street viewers compare soap to Trainspotting as Daniel goes on booze and drug-fueled bender pre-watershed. Daniel's life was left hanging in the balance, but was this appropriate viewing before 8 p.m.? Coronation Street viewers were shocked by controversial scenes in Friday night's first episode as Daniel Osborne went on a booze and drug-fueled bender. He overdosed on drugs in his flat, leaving KOI fans guessing whether he would survive a horrifying ordeal and comparing it to Trainspotting. It seemed that the guilt of attacking Ken Barlow got too much for Daniel as he started to head down a very dangerous path. After being out of the Rovers for being too drunk, he snorted coke and downed vodka before collapsing onto the sofa and suffering from a fit, before being left unconscious. Daniel rejected Ken's offer to pay for a therapist, feeling that he isn't deserving of any help, and was then left feeling even more isolated after an argument with his stepsister Tracy Barlow. He ran after Robert's old friend and asked for some stuff, telling the drug dealer that the owner of Nick's Bistro would pay up later. While listening to Buzzcocks' hit Ever Fallen in Love, he binged on the alcohol while taking the drugs, despite being called a lightweight by Liz after getting drunk after 1.5 pints. He was so off his face that he was spinning around the room before falling onto the sofa. This marked a significant change for the student, who was hoping to get the grades to head to Oxford University. Chesney and Kirk heard the loud music from the street as Daniel's life hung in the balance. KOI viewers took to Twitter to give their opinions on the shocking scenes. They compared the scenes involving drug-taking to Danny Boyle's classic film Trainspotting, which stars Ewan McGregor as a junkie who wants to reform. He was found by Adam and Robert, who carried him to the back of the van and took him to hospital. Rob Mallard, who plays Daniel, told Radio Times, "Because Daniel is depressed and not really feeling anything. He just wants to feel something. It comes off having been riled up by Tracy and he just goes too far." Coronation Street viewers were previously left stunned after Denise Osborne returned to stop Daniel killing Ken. Denise Black, who plays the student's mother, made her big on-screen comeback after a decade away from the Cobbles. She was reunited with ex Ken Barlow, in desperate circumstances after her son looked like he was about to kill KOI's longest-standing character. Ken had a showdown with Daniel after discovering he attacked him, demanding to know why he bashed him over the head with a book. The pair had a heated argument about the attack as Ken begged his son to let him go free. He said, "What's the alternative? You finish me off." Daniel then stared down at a penknife with menace in his eyes, before a knock at the door interrupted things. Denise fled from the family home in 2007 and left a teenage Daniel to fend for himself, so maybe it's understandable that he's gone a bit psycho. Speaking about her return to the soap, actress Denise Black, who plays Denise Osborne, says she was so keen to bond with Rob Mallard, who plays her on-screen son, she stayed on the sofa in his home so they could rehearse together. Denise said, "I had to go back and watch Denise Osborne from the early 90s, which is very strange because that is a long time ago and a different me. It is really hard, I could hardly recognize myself. I thought, God, I am hot. What happened? I have known 3 actors who have played the role of Daniel, so what I needed was to graft straight onto Rob. Me and Rob hung out, I went and stayed on his sofa and we ran lines together. I know what he looks like first thing in the morning. We both worry a lot and are quite obsessed, but it worked. Rob would be running lines as Daniel and I am running them as Denise, and at any time a person would say, 'Can you just check me?' Denise refused to say how long she was staying in the soap, what a tease, but much more interestingly, she wouldn't rule out a return to romance with Ken, who she was with for several years in the mid-90s. Grinning, she told us, 'Me and Bill get on great and he is looking well, isn't he? Watch this space. I think it is wonderful.' They are at the bathroom door arguing. I thought, here we go, we are off." Denise is also not fazed by the fact her character is returning with a lot of baggage. She adds, "The moment you have completely sewn someone up, then that is the end of their usefulness. So I see it more as a cycle." She can have happy times, and of course I would like her to have some happiness, and I would love for Daniel to repair so he is not in so much danger. The brief I was given when I first came in was she speaks her mind and is front-footed and not always right. She is a bit Marmite, you either love her or hate her. She abandoned her son and look at the damage it did. But she is desperate to be a good woman and put things right.